And we're back on the Ground Standard After Hours Podcast, Episode 3. I'm Bobby Frieda. This is Josh Baker of Hammer Sports and Performance. How you doing today, Josh?
What's up, Bobby?
So we've known each other a long time, huh?
Long time.
More than 10 years.
More is pretty much ever since I got into combat. I mean, I was at Inferno when I was 19.
You were 19?
19, so
Wow.
2010.
So I was 25, 26. I met you when I first started jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I was there already. I was fighting.
Yeah, you were already trained. I remember in the mornings you used to have training with Steve after class.
In camp.
Yeah.
I was always, I was always one of the only few fighters, so
yeah,
it was a good time to get pad work and everything like that.
Yeah. Crazy how quick time goes by, man.
Tell me.
I can't believe that.
The other day I was in Inferno for Memorial Day, and I was rolling with Tamir. Okay, he's 19. He's a purple belt. He's very solid, good wrestler and all that. And then I'm rolling with him, and I am keeping up. But then I'm remembering, wow, I was that 19-year-old.
Yeah.
That always pushed the pace on everyone, and everybody hated it.
Sure.
So I had to make sure, no, not today.
Yeah.
I'm still there, but I had to take that extra break. But it's okay.
What are you now, 30?
I'll be 35 in July.
35. Oh, I didn't know you when you were 19. You were a little.
No, I started training. So
you started training at 19.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Started training. Or the summer of 2012, I started with Inferno.
Yeah. It's really 21, 22. You're a few years younger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was also, I remember the 10 o'clock a.m. Classes on Tuesday and Thursday. Anthony Knox used to drive me. I remember that. Anthony Knox. I used to pray. That Anthony, I would be in the shower in the morning before Anthony picked me up, and I would pray, please don't pick me up. Please don't. I had cuts underneath my toes. I had mat burn. I threw up my first 2 classes. But dude, it was awesome. I couldn't stop coming.
Yeah, long time.
Now you own your own school after all those years.
Yep, opened up in 24.
How has that been so far?
Good. So I opened up my own school in 24, but I started training people pretty much when I was fighting professionally. So 2015 is when I started working at the UFC gym in Shrewsbury. So I've been training clients for now a good amount of time. But it was a gamble in the beginning. I had the opportunity to try to take something and create it to my own. We went with 40 members, and in 24, when my wife was 7 months pregnant, we asked what are we going to do. I was working for somebody. They weren't going to be paying the bills anymore. Rolled the dice. She said, send it, and now we're here. We have well over 100 members, and we're alive, and I can't complain. I get to do what I love to do. Yeah. I get to prove a lot of people wrong throughout my life, saying that it wasn't a path I had to go. I had to use my college degree. I had to do certain things, and I'm just kind of grasping for things that aren't always there. Sure. Especially with someone with like my background, where it was never a world champion or anything like that, but I've done everything, and I've been around some of the best people in the world that have done those things. And I've seen do's and don'ts, and I believe to myself. So it's rewarding. Every morning I get to wake up. Doesn't matter if I have a 6 a.m. client, but I know I get to go up. I'm my boss. I'm doing what I want. Yeah. I train every day. Yeah. Luckily, my body's holding up as much as it can. But when I have clients and classes, I'm training like 6 to 8 hours a day. Yeah. So can't complain.
No, it's nice to get to do what you love, man.
Yeah, get the pay to train. That's how I look at it. I was a professional athlete. Yeah. I still consider myself a professional athlete. Yeah. I get paid to do what I need to do and bring it to everybody else. So.
What would you say your favorite part of it is owning a school?
Owning a school is just trying to fix what went wrong in my career, or my coming into everything. I've been a wrestling coach now for about 10 years. Between high school and rec. I've always been in the corner with somebody, and I wrestled all my life. And that's what kept me going. Like anytime, like in wrestling, you're always learning about cutting weight, doing the extra stuff. How can you beat that guy in front of you? When you end up going out there, it's just one-on-one. And that was my first intro into martial arts. And then I got in, started fighting, all that. But when I was fighting, I was just told to, my mentality as a wrestler was like, it doesn't matter, stepped across the line. I got to beat him that day. So when I was fighting, I'd get offers and like, yeah, I'll fight him. No background, nothing. I didn't have a guy to stop me in the beginning until I kind of met Steve, and we more talked about stuff where we're going. But even then, I let my ego get the best of me sometimes. And it's like, Now I'm a competitor. I'm going to beat him.
Yeah.
Even though that guy we didn't know, but was a Golden Glove boxer.
Right.
Or was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was only a white belt, a blue belt at the time.
And you would have just said yes.
I would just say yes, because I was 22, 21. You're going to pay me whatever you're going to pay me.
Sure.
I'm going to go and sell my tickets. I'm going to put on a show.
Yeah.
I want to be a UFC world champion.
Yeah.
Which I think every time I was in the fight, I had the opportunity to win, but things don't go your way. You know, now I can make sure I can guide these athletes get there, no matter what you want to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be to a professional level in sports. It could just be getting to that weight, right? You want to lose weight for one of my personal training, for my clients, right? I'll have them in, they do their in-body scan, they get the number, we have an actual conversation.
Right.
Where would you like to get in 6 weeks? Now I get to control it. Make sure you're doing the right things. So just as taking that wrong opponent, taking that wrong meal, taking that wrong, skipping a class, skipping a workout, stuff like that. And now I'm able to move the pieces. And I look at success as not just the wins and losses, but it's the people that keep on coming. You know, if they trust me and I see it, they're coming every day and they're training and they're competing or just literally coming every day. That's the biggest reward, I would say. Owning a business, and I own the business. I am the boss. If I want an idea, I do it.
That's good. No, that's my favorite part too. That's interesting what you say about your experience with Steve Barnett, right? You know, about how you weren't watching your own back to make better decisions, right? As a fighter, I like the correlation that you draw with your experience as a coach. So you don't just teach martial arts; you're also doing fitness, personal training as well.
Yep. So when I was coming up as a trainer, even when I was fighting, I would always be going different places for my strength and conditioning, my boxing, my kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, whatever. When I was in college, I'd be living in Rhode Island. I'd be taking a 45-minute train up to Boston to get some training. Then I'd be going down in Narragansett to go for my boxing, strength and conditioning. I'm driving all over the place. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
I'm 20, 21, 22. I don't have money. All this gas is going. I'm in college. I'm physically in college, and my parents are paying for my gas right now. Right? That's the end of the story. So when I started training and got out of college and I want to be able to give everybody something. Right? I'm not an expert in everything, but I know a lot, and I've been around a lot of people that are experts, and we are able to tie in stuff like that. So I always got into it. All right, I want to get my certifications in whatever I needed to get into, and then just be able to go. When I was in Shrewsbury, my bread and butter was personal training clients, but that was everyday person that wanted to learn how to throw a punch properly and lose some weight. A big female population where it was just, we were doing cardio kickboxing, but like, oh, you want some extra pad work? Great. You want to do some kettlebell work? Great. Want to push a sled a little bit? Great. We did running classes. We'd be on the beach a couple weeks, track workouts and all that kind of stuff. So when I opened up, I wanted everything in one house. So if you wanted to come and get a strength workout, we have kettlebell training Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning. If you want to come in jiu-jitsu, okay, we have that 4 days a week. Wrestling, all that. But yeah, so we have personal training clients that I can put a custom workout for you that you follow, and when we get to a point where we're plateauing, we can change it, mix it up a little bit, follow your nutrition. I'm not a nutritionist, but again, I can tell you what's good and what's not and what has worked, and you can try it, but we have the in-body scan too, so we actually see the results as we go on through it.
Any nutritionists? Let's set it up. So do you find that people guys, girls, whoever, that come in for fitness, for personal training, do they ever, or I'm sure they do, you know, to some degree, but what percentage of them actually end up crossing over and training martial arts as well?
So the way, and I guess fitness is a loose term, right? So we can talk about jiu-jitsu as fitness, and kickboxing is fitness, and then I'm mixing it in. Majority of the time when somebody's walking in, they have at least the slightest interest in one of the martial arts. So you got to find that martial arts and go. Everyone has their different reasons why they don't want to do stuff, right? The number one for jiu-jitsu, I don't want to get that close to anybody. Understood. You know, I don't want you sweating on me, all that kind of stuff. But find out what they're doing, whatever. We can still teach them how to fall properly. I don't need to touch you for that. Teach how to shrimp, so you get a little core in there. Teach how to combat base up, have your balance, have your feet in the right spot, and do these little moments. I can teach them how to take a shot without ever touching us. Right? But now that's fitness. Now if everyone knows, I have a whole routine. It's a whole flow. Break, fall, shrimp, back and forth, combat base, shot, sprawl.
They're basically learning grappling.
Do that for a minute. Said, you're not touching me, but you're still learning how to fall properly, protect yourself. God forbid anything happens. A lot of times, and that helps the break, and then oh, let me just show you this real
Yes.
quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Slowly touch, and then
Right.
we can build into it,
Yep.
right? Or a lot of times it's kickboxing or self-defense,
Yeah.
right? I don't like the term self-defense because just what you see on YouTube and everyone making stuff, like a lot of times when people self-defense and they see someone coming at you with a gun, right?
Yeah.
I always try to explain this. I can teach you a lot of things, but they have a gun. They pull the trigger, they pull the trigger.
Yeah.
The guy making the video, pop, 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 and now he has the gun.
Right.
He's not Batman, I'm not Batman. I would like to think I am, but I'm not.
Right.
I believe self-defense is more of the confidence and understanding what it is.
Sure.
So I'd more rather you understand when you have a wrist control, where should your thumb be?
Yeah.
If someone has wrist control, where's their thumb? How can I get out?
Right.
Control your space, learn how to balance and whatever, and just be ready for a scenario.
Yeah.
Inside that, then it gives you more of a realistic, oh, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I show you the importance of understanding when you're in your stance, your hands are up.
Yeah.
Keeping a good core, keeping your foot in the spot. You're never crossing your feet. So God forbid you're running away from somebody, someone's getting your hands on you, and you trip and you fall, that's an issue. You know how to move your feet correctly, okay, you're in a better spot to keep yourself safe.
Sure.
So the crossover, when we start moving into it, like I said, we can either go from the jiu-jitsu end and go, kickboxing's a lot easier, right? You're just punching me, kick me, whatever. I can put shin guards on, belly pad, whatever. Just start telling you, let it rip. A lot of times from there, then people are like, oh, I need to actually know how it feels. I put my gloves on. I teach how to block stuff, but we're doing these rounds by rounds by rounds.
Sure.
In between the round, we grab the kettlebell, the medicine ball, hop in the ski machine, the bike, Versa, whatever you
So
got
you
to
mix
do.
it all together.
Mix it all together. But that's how always in my classes
Yeah.
are. Even now my fighters, it's the same thing. You know, we're in fight camp, so you're doing a certain amount of things at the end of the class, before the class, middle of the class. You're always able to move around. And I think that's the biggest part with, I feel like, a lot of my PT clients are my class clients because we offer the membership that include both. You're only going to learn so much with me.
That's awesome. So they do cross over.
They cross, so majority of it. It's rare, like here and there,
Yeah.
scheduling will always be the issue. But sometimes if I have two clients that their schedules just can't make work to get to a class, but they're around each other,
Sure.
we do a session together.
Gotcha.
We do a small group.
Yeah.
We just get together. Let's kind of work because it's always better when you have a partner
Yeah.
and I can help you with something rather than me showing it to you or I'm underneath you. As you're choking me, I'm trying to tell you, move your elbow that way. So it always a crossover, I think.
Yeah, and
just the way you approach.
And the more styles, the more services, the more programs a student is involved in, the more likely they're going to stay longer.
Yes.
You know, but I've noticed that like when I was at Steve's with you, there was the Muay Thai program, the Jiu-Jitsu program, and there wasn't a whole lot of people that did both. Not as many as they did one or the other. And I noticed that it was a little hard, and this is the same thing I noticed with other clients, that it's a little bit hard to get someone to do everything, to be able to do both the fitness, the martial arts, Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, you know, whatever it might be. But I've noticed that the more we can get people to be involved in the academy in different ways, the more likely they are to stay. You guys do wrestling too, right?
Yep, wrestling is my first love, and it's a key thing. So even like we have a full wrestling club, K through 8, and the high school group. If you're a little good at 7th, 8th grade, we bump you up. But 3 days a week, competition team. We brought a team out to nationals last year. Nice. But yeah, I've been coaching high school wrestling for a good amount of years, and I was the rec coach for Old Bridge. I started there in 2014. I'm now the assistant coach at Raritan. I'm the head girls coach now, the boys assistant. This will be my first year as girls head coach coming up.
Awesome.
I was the head coach for Jackson Memorial 2 years ago until they merged schools.
Oh, so you're not Old Bridge anymore?
I haven't been in Old Bridge since 23.
Okay. We made the apparel one year, right?
Yes.
Old Bridge, was that? Yeah, when you were at Old Bridge.
Yep.
Yeah. So I didn't know you were at Old Bridge anymore. So you're Raritan now.
Yeah, so I went from Old Bridge. We won a state title with Logan Roman in 22. His senior year coming up. There were some vacancies around, but I didn't want to leave him because I coached that kid since he was 7.
Oh, wow.
So we went all the way through high school. He won a state title. We were about to defend it in his senior year. Unfortunately, got a staph infection the week of states. We had to pull him out, but I was there. But after that moment, I got the opportunity to coach at my alma mater, Jackson Memorial. You know, they're very rich, and I couldn't step that down. We actually found out. So I'm about to have my daughter, but when we were about to have my son, we went to the doctor and found out that we were having the baby was coming that Friday. It was Wednesday. So me and my wife thought we had like another week or two, but they said we're here. and we go out to have lunch. Just at last time being us,
Yeah.
kind of. And I look down my phone and I get a text from Jim Huxford, who was my rec wrestling coach. I wrestled with his son, graduated him, all that kind of stuff. And he just said, would you be interested in coaching the Jags? And I said, what? They just had a new coach at that time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do. But in that moment, I was just thinking, I'm about to have a baby.
Right.
So I was like, I got to get back to you in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And have my beautiful son and all that. And I didn't even bring it up because I wasn't bringing it up to my wife.
Yeah.
You know? It's a lot. You know, wrestling is a lot,
Yeah.
especially on the family.
Sure.
But she even said it. She's like, so you're taking that job or what? She brought it up.
That's
she knew.
awesome.
So we went down that path, and I got to coach the Jags for last year, and we go down with history, unfortunately, that I was the last ever Jackson Memorial High School coach. And it was shocking when they closed that school. And just the way the town's going. But it was an honor for me because, again, I wrestled for Jackson. We were 5 in the country. I was under Scott Goodale, who's at Rutgers.
Yeah.
You know, then Doug Stanley, was an assistant for me on there. I got to bring my brother on staff, and it was one of the best years of wrestling that I would go. You know, it was a young team, but we were able to battle back, get 2 district champs, got a kid down to states in a blood round, which one of the kids now that wrestled for me now fights for me. So
that's awesome.
that was my biggest goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think I was going to coach wrestling anymore. I thought I was just going to do the club. Like I said, we have a good stable of wrestlers there, and I was just going to focus on growing the gym, you know. Yeah. And my wife was all on board on that. I was talking about going back to Old Bridge, whatever. But luckily, I'm in Hazlitt, right? The gym's in Hazlitt, and Raritan is in Hazlitt, and it was just there, you know. Wolf came in, head coach, conversation. We wanted to work out, you know, and so far so good. 2 seasons. Well, I just finished my first season in.
Yeah.
Now I'm taking over the girls as a head coach again, and the girl wrestling is just growing by the day. It's a #1 Division I scholarship right now, just because every school adding the programs.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So
seen it over the years.
and I've always been I was part of the first GMC tournament, county tournament, when the girls started. I was at the first state championships. I was there. So I've been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I've coached some good girls, and a lot of them are in college right now,
Yeah.
killing it and working into the world stages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to get back to girl wrestling. I was around this year, but now they're my responsibility. But yeah, so we bring out, and we have a full club. We just brought on Giovanni Alejandro, who currently wrestles at Ryder, state finalist for St. Joe's Metuchen. He's helping out. I have a bunch of my guys that were local Shore Conference guys and New York guys that help teaching the kids, you know. Wrestling is just the best. Even my no-gi style, it's wrestling, it's heavy. We want to take you down and get on top. That's always our philosophy.
I remember when I used to roll with you at Steve's. It was like you were a tornado. Like,
Gotta keep moving. Just keep
dude,
swimming.
Dude,
It's Dory. Just keep on swimming.
Dude,
Just
you
keep
would
on
not
moving.
stop fucking moving, dude. Oh my God. Nobody moved like that. Nobody, and you were like one of the only people that were my size too.
Yeah, it's tough being the small guy.
Yeah.
And all these monsters who now keep coming to my gym, and I'm like, whatever. Like I have RJ fighting this week. He's 260 pounds.
Yeah.
And he rolls with me, and I love it. So that's why he's dangerous.
Is he your wrestling?
No, I'm talking about he's fighting MMA, but like I have
Okay.
two sit by
Yeah, you
all
said
these
one,
guys.
one
yeah.
of your old wrestling.
No.
Okay.
RJ, he's been around for a while. You know, he walked in the door at Zephyr 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And you know, that kid, he's had some curveballs thrown his way, but he's gotten his head on the line, and he just had a big knockout in March. He's 2-1 as an amateur. Big fight this weekend for Art of War. He's right there. You know, he's a heavyweight, 29, 260, put on weight, doing the right things, and that's what I love. That's another thing that I love about this.
Yeah.
You have those stories. They're few and far in between, and I can try to be the motivation, or at least the path. That if you actually say you want to do something and fix your life or whatever, you know, you go. But he's ready to go.
Yeah.
But I have this big guy, and that's when we're in the cage, and you got to do this. I'm pointing my finger at him, but you respect, and that the respect's there. I'm like, damn, he really wants to just kill me. He could.
I mean, size aside, dude, that's what you were saying about Steve. You know, you had somebody that was watching your back, and now you're able to give that to other people that are at your academy, but you're also able to give it to your fighters too. You know, it's exactly what you're doing for him, what you got from Steve. That's awesome.
That's the goal. But
that's a nice way it comes all around.
Especially when they're giants.
Yeah, but for you and me, almost everybody's a giant. What about HCS? Talk to me about HCS. How long has HCS been around?
So
What is HCS?
So HCS is Hammer Challenge Series. We focus on grappling at the moment.
Yeah.
It's something that I came up with out of frustration, out of losing a couple competitions.
Frustration, what do you mean?
So I was competing on the local scene for after I stopped fighting for a bit, and I was really doing jiu-jitsu tournaments because like, you know what? Again, I'm tough to roll with. I'm gonna be able to do. I was winning some tournaments, whatever. So I competed for local sub-only events. Had some good shows. There are always good shows. There are always good times, but you would lose some decisions that you walk away from, and you're just like, why? So it's frustrating, especially you put in that time and whatever. I lost a couple title fights, and I was a brown belt. I was like, all right, there's definitely a different way. And then for HCS, I was like, all right, I competed for a couple shows that were just in-house. Like you're in the gym, whatever. I was like, we were over in Shrewsbury. We had a beautiful facility. It was big. I was like, I'm telling you I can do it. So I think like the biggest thing with trying to grow jiu-jitsu is you have to make it exciting for everyone.
Yes.
A majority of people that come to shows are jiu-jitsu people. It's a tough one to sell because there's not violence, right? Not throwing kicks and all that kind of stuff. But I always knew and always remembered high school wrestling in the gyms. There was no better feeling than a big pin, than a big reversal, anything that in the team environment, in the combat. Didn't matter. You always can go to high school. You could pull up the high school wrestling, and on a Wednesday night in the shore conference, you can go and watch a wrestling match. And there are going to be exciting matches in there, but it's that team camaraderie. So we did a trial November in 21. It was my gym, Inferno, and Bucktown. I was like, all right, I got Steve. I was like, I want to test rules. We're going to do a duel, exhibitions. Let me see how it goes. And we go from there. We did it. It's great. We did like 15 matches, whatever. Everyone got 2 matches. Bucktown won the inaugural academy season, which we grew into it. But then we had a good concept. So then
This is the original one at Zephyr, right? With the tempura shirts that we brought over?
that happened so this was the November of 21 was just basically, this is my rough idea. I've written out rules.
To plan it
Let's
out.
everyone get to the mat. Let's test it.
Yeah.
So we tested the team format and the original rules. So then in January of 22, I did my first super fight show. 6 matches live on Facebook. Took an iPad, put it in the corner, hit up all my buddies that I knew that were into jiu-jitsu. Ended up getting a really high level, was Tom a brown belt or a black belt at the time? But it was 10 Planet. He came out, went against one of my buddies that I wrestled with, and Freddie Pontanero. That was a main event. We did 6 matches in 35 minutes. And a lot of gripe on jiu-jitsu shows and tournaments they're extraordinarily long.
Yeah, they take forever.
I would compete sometimes for a show. They tell me to report at 3, 4. And my match was at 10:30.
Yeah, there's been times where they shut down the matches and they try to give you a refund.
So that's always a big thing, and that's always one of the points that I wanted to do when I made it. So we did that. I was like, all right, cool. It was a good idea. Took some feedback, whatever. So then we came right back in March that year and did 12 matches. Then we're like, all right, that went good. That went smooth. I think we did like in an hour. I was like, all right, we're just keeping the same pace. Then we did 3 where we did our first team duels again. Dante Rivera's team came through and all that, and we did a big thing, and I did it on YouTube first time. Had a good showing. Again, my buddy was just streaming it for me, whatever. Then we kept on going. But it's a sub-only event. We had the team duels, and that year, November of that year, we had the first pro team duels. So you get team of 5, max weight of 950, and you just got whoever you wanted to get on your team at that time. Didn't matter what school, if it was your buddy. We kind of made these super teams. And each team gets to alternate when they send out first. All right, so it's like a wrestling dual meet. So if my team are going, there's a coin toss in the beginning. Whoever wins the toss will get to choose if they want to send out first or second. If I win the toss and I said I want to send out first, I send out first for the first match.
Okay, so every match it goes back and forth.
Then on the second match, you would send out.
Yeah.
And go back and forth.
And you could put anybody with anybody.
At that time, there was a weight restriction. At that time, we did a 40-pound weight difference. So if you were 110, you could only go with 150 at most.
Yeah.
Now there is not. Now it's full send.
Nice.
And it makes it a little easier for everybody.
And I know that there's 5 grappling where it's 5 on 5. What's different from that rule set?
So
Do they allow the unlimited weights too, or no?
Yes. Well, so those are the team duels. The team duel is 5 combined weight of 950 of 5 people, amateurs or pros. So I
Everybody
split.
mixed together.
I split it up. Amateurs are white and blue belts. Pros, purple, brown, black.
Gotcha.
Blue belts do make the crossover early if they get some good wins, but that's pretty much how we go because
But the blue belt could be matched with a purple or a black belt.
if they're on a team duel or if they're in a Grand Prix or they earned their spot to be there, but if you're taking a super fight, if you're a white belt and you're asking for a super fight, I'm going to look for a white belt first. If not, I will go to a blue belt.
Yeah.
I won't go above a blue belt.
Okay.
But if you're a purple belt, you can get a brown or a black.
Okay.
Which when I did it, it's no-gi. And it is what it is, you know. It's like we'll try first. If you want a purple belt, we'll try to get it, but it's the division, and I know myself. You want to challenge yourself anyway, and you want to get there. So we're giving out money at the end and that kind of stuff. So you got to kind of go through it. But those all have set weight classes. You make the match, we get it. We do virtual weigh-ins the day before.
Yeah.
I give you a whole day to weigh in, but you're just gonna make whatever agreement we go. Our weight classes are 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 205 heavyweight. And yeah, just like another organization. But we have a show a month. We just did our 34th show this past weekend, our numbered show. We have more shows than that. When we did our second round of the Academy season qualifier this year, we did 24 matches in 2 hours.
Wow.
I think it was a little over 2 hours, but some filler there. We had to wait, had a guy. So we were at Saga Jiu-Jitsu in Hartboro, PA.
Okay.
And I'm going to call it Nick Diacomo, very high-level jiu-jitsu guy at a web. He accepted a super fight for the card.
Yeah.
Report time was 10:30 to 11. I get a call. Well, someone gets a call from Nick saying that he went to my gym in Hazlitt, New Jersey.
Thinking that's where it was going to be?
It's an hour and a half away.
Oh.
Show's starting at 12.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I was like, whatever. So we had to move the event. When he got there, we stalled a little bit, ended up winning, but it's just, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. We tagged it everywhere, and it was clear that it was at Saga.
Right.
The worst was his entire team was in the Academy season qualifier, and they were there.
Yeah.
He didn't talk to him, but it's okay. He won. He's good. He'll be back.
Nice. Worked out.
Yeah, so we go to different gyms. We host shows. We do fight nights at the Academy, HQ, no spectators. You can catch on YouTube. All our events are on our YouTube members only page. So this year we made the move just behind our YouTube wall. We've done pay-per-view shows with different companies and stuff like that. But our biggest thing was we just want to grow. So $10 a month, you can get as many matches as you'd like to with us.
$10 a month for competitors to sign up for it, you mean?
No, to watch.
To watch. Okay.
So, but if you're competing for me, often $10 a month, your match is there.
Yeah, so
The moment you get in your car.
Great.
But yeah, so we're building there. We do 2 shows a month. We're about to, like I said, we just did 2 in May. We have the Grand Prix January 20th at 185. We'll take July off so I can have a baby. Then we're back in August. Then for the rest of the year, we've done a show every month this year for the first time. So.
Nice. And for schools who are interested, that might be listening to this and interested about joining to become a part of the meets, how do they go about that? They just reach out to you?
Reach out. Majority of you can go through Instagram. If you go to HCS Grappling, I am the one that answers.
Okay.
You can go to the website. There are application forms and all that kind of stuff. We are looking for some more teams for the team qualifiers. We've had our 2 qualifiers so far, 4 teams in each qualifier. You're guaranteed 2 matches in the team duel format. If you win the qualifier, you'll automatically get a spot in the playoff. Looking like October or November, depending on how we fall out. Then all the other teams will fall into a point race for a final chance to get into the qualifier later this year. We just updated it. My guys are holding in the 6th place right now. Top 8 get the playoff.
Nice.
So we're hoping to hold on, but we'll have another chance to get in. We were in the first qualifier. We went up to UFC Gym Riverdale.
Yeah.
Black Hole dominated because they're so good. But yeah, so reach out. We were looking at. It's a fun time. You can check it out. I think my team duel format is the best thing in grappling. The excitement, you're right there. Other teams have done it. Other organizations have done team things with quintets. That's the biggest thing. We're not a quintet. So a lot of people think when they get there, it's like, oh, if you win, you stay in. No, if you win, you lose, you're out. Your next guy's in. So quintet, like if you did a team of 5, like I could go through you for your 5. If I submit you all.
Oh, one person of the quintet.
Could.
Gotcha. Okay.
In our duel, you're sending a new guy in every time.
No matter what happens in that match, the next.
Yep. If you get a sub in regulation, it's 3 points. Sub in overtime, it's 2.
Yeah.
Any other way of victory.
Like a wrestling match.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly like a wrestling match.
So besides that, tell me more about the rule set. So What about overtimes? How does it hold up to things like ADCC, EBI rules? What's different?
So I kind of combined everything.
Okay.
All right. First opening round is sub only. It's sub only. If you get the sub, you win.
Yeah.
For the amateurs, white and blue belts, the only illegal holds are twisting leg locks. You can reap, all that. If you do jump guard, you have to jump for an attack. Can't be jumping at the knees or anything like that. But everything else, as long as it's straight, it's fine. Purple, brown, black, all subs, legal. Amateurs, 4-minute round. Pros is a 6-minute round. If it's a title fight, it's 8-minute round.
Okay. Regardless
of the division, all overtimes are the same. If you leave regulation, we will flip a coin again. If you win, you'll restart in the EBI. Modified EBI rounds, 1 minute apiece. I get to go in a submission, you get to go in a submission. Sub beats escape, escape beats ride out.
What's the modification?
So the modification is time does not matter. So if I sub you in 10 seconds and you sub me in 58, we move on to the next round.
As long as there's a sub.
Yes, sub beats escape, escape beats ride out.
I like that better.
So other modification I have is a 3-second transition. So say I have your back and I'm about to lose. So you either start in the back control or armbar web. Modification on our armbar web is your top arm is through the arms. The bottom guy can lock his arms however you like to. Bottom arm is hugging their leg. Once you go, do whatever you want.
Okay.
But if I say I lose the position, I have 3 seconds to either get back to my starting position or get a submission, and it has to be in. It can't just be, I'm going for a wrist lock. If you're going for an armbar, it better be extended and you better be threatening it.
Sure.
Then the ref will continue the ride.
Yeah.
But if not, it's over. So if you leave the EBI, so again, escape, sub, whatever, you match, however.
Yeah.
You go to a modified ADCC golden score. Okay, I just name it ADCC. It's not ADCC because there's so many modifications, but it's a golden score. So first one to a dominant position and holds it for 3 seconds wins. Mount, side control, or back mount.
Okay.
Obviously, if you sub them, that would count.
Yeah.
But always play for the sub. We had this past weekend in overtime, someone got back control but had to choke in. So I acknowledge that you have the back control. You have won this match, but all subs matter. It was the team duel. If he subbed him out there, that was 2 points for the team.
Oh.
I let him go, and I'm vocal telling you, you play for the sub.
Yeah.
He got the sub, got the 2 points.
Yeah.
If he didn't get the sub, he got the win. He has it locked.
But now he's got the.
But now he has it. So always play for the sub.
Okay. What about north-south?
North-south's not a dominant position for me.
It's a dominant position for me.
Get out.
Dude, I've held you down in north-south before.
No, you know.
Yeah, dude.
I say it's not north-south because you can't tell me the bottom guy can't do anything.
But the bottom guy could do anything in other positions too.
If I have you mounted, I am in full control. Can you do stuff? It's going to take you a minute, right?
I'm covering your whole body.
Okay.
Basically,
If I have back control,
you're wrapped around the whole body.
I'm wrapped there. I have side control. I have you pinned on your back.
Well, side control, you're not controlling the whole body.
Pinned on the back. No frame. There can't be anything.
I'm pinned on the torso. Basically,
You're
on the
pinned.
torso and the neck.
Your shoulder blades are flat. We look at knee at hip, knee at armpit, and you don't have a frame. We've had a guy that their argument was the bottom guy had a guillotine, and I said that's not side control.
Yeah.
He has something that's stopping your full control right now. I look at it as north-south is you're here, but you're saying I can't lift my legs up right there. I'm not getting to your face. I'm not able to create that space.
But you could say that from side control too.
You can, but I have more of control.
So because you have
finale, you're holding for 3 seconds. Yeah.
Because you have a little more control
Yes.
than
You have a lot more control.
Yeah.
I understand why people say 80s. I understand why people consider north-south as a dominant position.
Yeah.
For us, the 3, that's it.
No, it does make sense. Has anybody ever argued with you on that?
Yeah, well.
Besides now?
HCS 20. Not argue as whatever, but I had a ref.
Yeah.
It was actually one of my students at the time, losing the amateur invitational semifinals because they called north-south as a dominant position, ADCC.
Your ref lost.
My ref called it against my guy, and I was in the coaching corner. I'm not arguing with the ref as the promoter there.
Yeah.
I'm arguing with the ref as a coach.
Sure.
And I didn't want to make, it gave me too much, so I let it go.
You as a promoter, it's kind of hard.
Whatever. Yeah. She called a dominant position. Yeah. My student took the L.
Yeah.
So we had that.
Right.
But now I've made it very clear.
After that,
north-south is not a dominant, and I never said it was, but now it's not.
Now it's in there specifically.
Yes.
Okay.
And whatever. If you leave that, no one got the dominant position, you go through the 3 minutes.
Sure.
No sub, you go back to EBIs, but fastest sub wins. or escape. So now time does matter.
Now time matters.
Time
yeah.
matters.
Okay.
If you leave that, you both ride each other out. Best case. It hasn't happened yet, but like you say that happens.
Yeah.
You go to a sudden victory EBI. This is completely modified.
Yeah.
90 seconds are on the clock. Bottom guy just has to survive. Top guy has to get the sub. And that's the overtime. They've never had it, but if you get all the way through, that's what it is. You have been warned. I make sure that's in overtime.
Yeah.
0 times.
Yeah.
Now that was back in the day, the original rules. Round 1, EBI, time to matter, ADCC. Then it was that survival.
Okay.
1 90-second go.
Yeah.
And we had people that it wasn't good.
Yeah.
There was some unfinished stuff. So I was like, it's only if we need to get it.
Yeah.
And it's a 1, and you've gone through at that point 14 minutes of grappling.
Sure.
We need a winner.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And that was the biggest part when I made HCS. I wanted, like, you could be unhappy with how it was called.
Yeah.
But there was a definitive winner.
Sure.
By the book.
Yeah.
What it said.
Yes.
What was explained to you.
Yeah.
If you didn't understand,
yeah.
I'm sorry, but that was the win.
Yeah.
You're not waiting for a judge's decision. You're not questioning yourself.
Right.
You might question why.
Yeah.
What happened? Then we can have a conversation. This is why you lost.
Yes.
That's fine, but there's a definite winner.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing. Just as in wrestling, I knew if I got pinned.
Right.
I knew if I lost by a point. I knew if I got tacked.
Yes.
Looking at this, I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't have to wait.
Yeah.
And then I just put it that way because, yes, you have the ref as making. The refs are people that know my rules. It's me. If it's a title fight, Grand Prix, I'm reffing. I'm not letting anything. If you have any questions, I made the rules. I know them.
So for the most important matches,
I'm there because I don't want it. If there's money on the line,
sure,
I'm the guy doing it.
Yeah.
But then I have also Giovanna Scano. She's a certified ref with the state for MMA and all that. She was just reffing in the UFC. She was just blown up for being the first female. Oh. She's been reffing mine to get better at knowing the jiu-jitsu spots. Sure. She does a great job. You might disagree with the call, but it was a judgment call. It is what it is.
Yeah.
She understands the rule sets and she keeps on going.
Sure.
When my students, 2 of my students help, they know the rules because guess what? When we train, it's what we're doing.
You train the rules.
You know, we're training EBIs, we're training, and they understand how I think.
Yeah.
Again, if they make a bad call, just in any other sport, it is what it is.
Well, they're human beings.
It is what it is.
Of course.
Don't argue, get to the next. We always can run it back if it was that controversial. If I need to step in, I do, but you know what the decision is, but those are the rules.
Yeah, that's good. So where's this next one going to be?
June 20th at Dante Rivera in Howell. We're doing the 185 Grand Prix. Winner gets $1,000. We have 8-man bracket. Brandon Smith just defended his super fight title, so we have 2 titles. The super fight title is new to the organization. It's titles in multiple divisions that you have to defend now within 90 days or you're stripped. He just defended his first time this weekend. Now he hops in the Grand Prix. Grand Prix, we only pick 2 weights a year. We give out $1,000 thanks to All Jersey Mechanical.
Yeah.
And that title's never defended. That's yours. So now he's hopping in the 185 Grand Prix at his home gym, defending in a spot. It's going to be fun. Last year he made the final in the 175, losing to Andrew Cockle, who has won 3 of our titles and put some money into his pocket. But and we're also doing the team duels.
Yeah.
A qualifier number 3. Looking for 2 more teams. So far, Dante Rivera and Lucky Cat Grappling are confirmed. We have 2 more slots, and then there's only 1 more qualifier after this. So if you're looking to get in, the time is now.
Nice. Steve from Lucky Cat. Yeah, we work with Steve too. I didn't know he was going to be in the meeting.
Oh, no? Yeah.
Yeah.
June 20th.
June 20th. Maybe I'll make it to that one.
Oh, maybe.
I only came to the first one, you know. I only came to the first one. For everybody out there listening, just so you know, when I came to the first one, I was sponsoring, right? I was one of the sponsors of all the tempura kimonos, rash guards, gear. I come in with the big duffel bag.
I don't think this was the first one though.
It was the first. Oh, it was the
We
first.
we didn't start charging people for a minute.
You start charging me for that one.
I think you might have came to the first one that was getting charged.
Your wife looked right at me and she's like, you can pay? I said, I came with the gear. She just looked at me like she didn't know who I was.
Nope.
She's a real one.
Lady Hammer. She's right there.
So you still train at, you still go to Inferno?
As much as I can.
Yeah.
Between balancing my family and my own school.
Yeah.
It's tough. When I get in the morning, it's great. I was able to bring the guys over for Memorial Day. We're able to go there, but as always, will be my home.
Yeah.
You know, Steve Barnett's my professor, so I got my black belt from. Fixed a lot of stuff when I walked into those doors. I was just a raw kid that was ready to fight. You know, my training prior to that was either on my own or unguided, or not unguided, miscontrolled, and I was sparring people that fought John Jones. Like that's
You
the
were?
size difference.
Oh,
that was doing it, you know
I
what
thought you
mean?
meant literally people that sport John Jones.
Literally people that fought John Jones and
You
John
sport?
Jones. Yeah.
Oh,
I was 19. I said, yeah, fuck it, let's go.
yeah. This is before Steve was like, hold on a second.
This was before I knew Steve.
Yeah.
Actually, like I walked in Steve's gym just because I was getting ready for my last amateur fight, which they did in Jackson. So the town I grew up in, one of my buddies' dad was throwing on the show.
Yeah.
He was a boxing promoter or whatever, and they're like, would you fight at home? And I was like, yes. How sick is that?
Yeah.
I was at Liberty, and the new Jackson Township High School, but it was brand new, giant. I was like, you're saying I could sell all those tickets? Say less. But I didn't want all the distraction, so I said I was going to do my camp up at school in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And then I'd come home for the summer. Because I knew every time I went into Wawa or whatever, like, yo, I can't wait for the fight, whatever, just how it was in wrestling. Like, you can't go to Wawa in Jackson without talking about the wrestling match coming up.
Sure.
Like, that's how the town was.
Yeah.
So I was up at school doing my camp, and about 2 weeks out from the fight, I was living in the wrestling house, and Rhode Island wrestling, man, it just went from one guy to another guy, the same house on Hereford. And the water bill was on this one guy's thing, but it got cut off. So, well, no, it was the electric. The electric and the water was cut off. I'm
Yeah.
living in there by myself. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I couldn't get them on the phone and whatever. And I was like, whatever. So I went home, didn't have a gym. A lot of my old teammates that I knew, they were training with Nick Catone. But I had a fight scheduled with someone from Ricardo's and their affiliates. So I couldn't get the proper training at Nick Catone's. But I knew Anthony Ficini, and he was one of my boys.
Anthony Ficini.
And Ficini was at Inferno, and I was talking, I was like, dude, I'm fighting in 2 weeks. I don't have a corner. I got nothing.
Yeah.
And Ficini's like, let me talk to Steve and whatever. I came in, met Steve. Steve looked at me. He's like, yo, you could be here for 2 weeks. You could be here forever. We got you. Walked in, and Ficini cornered me. Someone from Rhode Island came from Joe Irv, cornered me for that. That actually, I just got the memory today. That's 14 years ago today.
No shit.
June 2nd.
Wow.
I took a fight. I was in a rear naked choke for a minute and 30 of the 2 minute round.
Oh my God.
Whatever, the 3 minute round, whatever it was. I was locked in, and I'm looking around. Everyone's cheering my name. I was like, I got to get out of this.
Dude.
Got out with the last 10 seconds. Ended up winning 29-28 decision, and it was a party. It was literally. But yeah, Steve let me come in. I got to fight in my front town, and I never left. You know, after that, between him and Kurt, you know, that's who did my career. I was go to school. I had my guys up in Rhode Island, but when I was home and when I came home, I was there.
Kurt who? Pellegrino?
Kurt Pellegrino, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys still do cross training? No, Inferno. Like
I go with Inferno. Kurt not there. I know there. We do not as much. Everyone in the guys when I was at Kurt's, like that's when the wave of all the fighters in there. You know, like Roddy and everyone like that. The Asbury crew.
Yeah.
But we don't. We're all friends. We've had people. If someone hit me up and say, "Oh, can I come to an open mat?" Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I was up my respect for Kurt and everybody. Kurt was at majority of my promotions, all the way up to brown belt. He wasn't at my black, but he was all the way through there. But that's how this is, you know. So many people, but that's why I love jiu-jitsu. I had a guy hit me up, hey, can I come to a match? Sure, come roll.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've known you from this X, whatever.
Sure.
You know, you come back. But yeah, kind of got sidetracked there.
Yeah, just bringing a lot of names up. Anthony Ficini, Joe, people I haven't talked to or thought about in a long time. What would it take for you to get back in the cage?
Not my wife not knowing. I'm comfortably with me saying that I'll never fight MMA again.
Ever?
I'm about to be 35, about to have my second kid. Am I happy with how my career went? No. Can I say I did it? Yes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm about to be 35 years old. I've been doing combat sports since I'm 8.
Yeah.
My body is wearing the tear. I've competed in the biggest shows.
Sure.
I train with all my guys. Would I love to? Yes. My body couldn't get through a camp. What I would need to go. I'm in great shape. Again, for my age, I'm great. I love when I compete in the Masters. Like I feel good.
So you still compete jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, if I have the opportunity, absolutely.
IBJJF,
No,
ADCC. What do you like to compete?
No, I do Naga.
Naga? Yeah.
I do Naga.
Yeah.
I love Naga. My first amateur fight was for reality fighting.
But no gi, right? The Naganogi or you?
No-gi, I haven't done a black belt gi match. I haven't done a gi match since purple belt.
Yeah.
I'm open to it. Definitely as I got older, I started falling more into the gi because I can slow the younger guys down and you can rely on your grips a little bit. You don't have to be as fast-paced.
You hated gi.
I hate the gi.
I
still do. I teach gi once a week.
Dude, when I met
only
you,
because you need a belt.
You fucking hated the gi.
I still do.
Yeah, but the way you talk, what you just said right here is not how you sound.
Oh no, I've grown. I've grown. I've grown. I've understood.
I remember now that you said it.
When I was a brown belt, that's when it clicked.
Okay.
Because when I looked at, like, I bought my first gi in the lobby of Grappler's Quest Nationals because they convinced me if I spent another $20, I would get more matches.
Oh.
I said, okay.
Yeah.
Put it on, got the belt.
Yeah.
It was hanging by my feet. The ref had to retie it. I took third in a 20-man bracket. I'm like, psh, gi.
Yeah.
Did the IBJF that following year, the New York Open.
Okay.
As a white belt, won it. I was like,
I got this.
whatever.
Yeah.
Steve looked at me, I have to give you your blue belt. But once that was done.
Yeah.
Then when you go with people that, I still I don't get it. I really don't.
What?
I have people that hit me up. Will say, I only train in the gi.
I never understood only training one or the other. Like I want to train both.
Now,
You know,
You
I
just
always
saw
had a preference.
Yes.
Like, you know.
but now it gets even worse where, okay, how long you been training? I was like, I'm a brown belt.
Yeah.
So you're not comfortable in a no-gi setting, like
Yeah.
at all?
That's crazy.
At all? He's like,
Right.
I don't know no-gi.
Yeah.
You're a brown belt. Like, it's literally the same thing, just don't grab my clothing.
Right.
Right. So I never get it, but like I hated the gi, but I also hated the gi for my selfish reasons because it was a counter to my wrestling.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah.
So I think when I was younger, again, in my 20s and started coming up, I hated it because it created another obstacle for me, and I was just like, nah, I just want to train it. Which why I think I was a blue belt for so long.
Sure. Makes sense.
I mean, when I was a blue belt, that was the majority of my MMA career, so I didn't need to train the gi.
Yeah.
It was a waste of time. I could get hurt. Like, I didn't need gi. And then as I got older, no, you need the gi.
Yeah.
And it was like I said, right after purple belt, I was just rolling. I think I was waiting for my brown, and I rolled with somebody in the gi that was like a blue belt, and like they were just moving me around. I'm like, why? And it's like, all right, I gotta figure this grip thing out at least.
Yeah.
Like slow this down. Like let me clear the grips and go. And then I was like, oh, okay, I can kind of get it. Then I just started getting more creative when I would take someone's back. All right, let go. Let's look for the lapel.
Yeah.
Whatever. Because in the beginning of jiu-jitsu, when I learned it, Ben stuffed the wrong way.
You what?
Ben stuffed the wrong way, right? I didn't really have, I'm the worst with names for moves. Come here, come on the mat. I'll show you exactly what you
I
want.
just don't know what the fuck it's called.
Don't give me I'm glad there wasn't a Scantron test for my black belt. It would be failed. My students make fun of me. I kept on going, but whatever. And I'm finally getting to where I think I'm wrong, but I'm so on it because I think a darce is an anaconda, I think. So I say a darce is when the grip is on the outside. And I tuck my head and I roll. I say an anaconda is head on the inside. To me, it's the same choke. Your arms are in different spots. It's a blood choke trapping a head in an arm.
Right.
Kind of irrelevant.
Right.
When I learned it early on, because that was one of the first things I learned from a front head,
Yeah.
just like in wrestling, I'd go for a cement mixer. Nah, go, lock, and roll. Cool. I asked someone, they said darce, or I heard darce, whatever.
Yeah.
That was a darce. Then I was like, oh, anaconda's on the other side. Cool, whatever. Now more and more people keep on bringing it up, and now me doing HCS. And then when I have high-level commentators, and I was like, oh, maybe I am wrong.
Yeah.
But I say it's outside darce and inside darce.
Oh, so you found a way to finagle the system.
But again, I know the technique. I know how to finish it, whatever. The name is whatever.
There's names. Everybody has different names.
And then that's another problem. Then you also call it Bravo choke or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, this, bend this way, choke.
Yep.
Again, and I sound I'm a black belt. I promise I'm a black belt. I understand it, but terminology. But that's the same thing. You talk to me in English, I struggle sometimes.
After having so many clients all over the country, like I notice so many of my clients have different names for the same techniques.
Yes.
You know, and especially when we were learning things from Steve, like monkey sweep.
The dummy sweep?
Not everybody calls it that.
No.
It's like that has like crazy names.
It's whatever helps you
Yeah.
goes on. Like I always
Right.
tell, and I'll tell kids the same thing. Like I call it this way because it helps me remember.
Right.
Like a pendulum sweep, a flower sweep. Like I always think more of a pendulum. You're moving your leg, right? Moving like that.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that my students hate, but I think it's definitely our philosophy and the way I roll. I love when people. I always ask my class in the beginning. I always kind of go in with a blank canvas. I have in the back of my mind if I have to pick something I have to teach, but I always ask, what would you like to do today? Because you're the one paying. If you're competing or whatever, you're getting beat up every day. Why?
Right.
Let's talk about where we get it. And like, oh, I want to get out of side control. My number one thing is don't get in it. And they're like, but I get that. I was like, no, why are we getting into it? Why did we get the side control? Where are you getting the side control? Was it a stop shot or whatever? Why'd you stop moving that you said, oh, I'm in stuck in bottom side control? So constantly frame and keep on moving. And literally now when my higher levels and my fighters and stuff like that, we're working at it, and I'll just look at it and it's like, what's the best way to get out of it? Don't let it happen. That's it. Keep on moving all you're going. But like those little things, like I'll say that, whatever. I'm not going to say fully right now, but we have right now a saying for RJ's fight this weekend. All right, the biggest thing is even a competitor or an everyday person doing jiu-jitsu, not every time they're there, they want to be there. Right? Not every day you want to train. Luckily, most of my students, even on the day they don't want to, they get there. But you have to give them something to motivate them. Right? So you find like a little thing, like a little inside joke with them. And then you get them to laugh, you say it. So like right now we have, what I'm again not going to go, but every time I say to RJ, you got 3,000. And we have a word right there about people watching you. And then his instant reaction, he smiles and he's like, I better be the one working. Right? We're going to sum that up. There's definitely other words that he's putting in there, but now he's locked in.
Okay.
You know, and it's like I see him kind of walking around like, all right, we know this guy's coming to wrestle us.
Yeah.
He's coming to take us down, hold us down, and just let everyone watch you lay on your back. You're going to let that happen. So when he's taking that second to get up from the next round, you got 3,000 people watching you. I'm not going to be on my back, stand up.
Yeah.
Those little things keep on motivating,
Sure.
all that kind of stuff. And that works well with, again, all people. You got to find like exactly there. But that's with the moves. Like it's the same thing. Like I have one of my clients, which he's been training for about pretty much since I opened. But, okay, I'm a wrestler. I've been taught a whizzer my entire life. I'm going over a whizzer, and I think he thinks I'm saying whizzer. And he's like, is it because you grab your whizzer? Like you grab your whizzer. Because I always talk about you go so high on your thigh, you want to get up.
Yeah.
And I never thought about it that way.
Neither did I.
He said it to me, and I'm like, you know what? Sure.
Yeah.
I'm teaching someone a whizzer like the next day. I was like, it's because you're grabbing your whizzer.
Yeah.
Now it's just an instant thing, like you're able to go.
Yeah.
Not always appropriate, but read the room.
Yeah.
Some people are going to connect different ways.
Sure.
And now you're able to go. But that's why I think a lot of names are different. Like someone's taught me something. Fine, we'll do this way. In our MMA, we have a bunch of series, like playbooks and stuff like that. A lot of people do it, whatever, but it's helpful for drills. So I'll say and go out and do DC finishes. DC finishes for us is if you're getting into like a high crotch situation and you're popping his hips up and clearing his feet like Daniel Cormier did against Gustafsson. Flipped him up, down. But if I'm saying DC finishes, all my guys are thinking about popping their hips, clearing them out, getting into good control.
That's the playbook, yeah.
Now, if I say, now I go out, drill that for 3 minutes, whatever. Or if I say, okay, we do our takedowns. What kind of finish? All right, that's our DC finish. Khabib finish. You drown him. You drag him down. You get him in a good spot. Get your Dagestani handcuff, whatever. But you understand, we have a bunch of little drills you can do like that.
Yeah.
But you just go.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. And again, those are things, okay, everyone knows who those two people are.
Yeah.
Those two instances, those that happened, get to those positions.
Sure.
Let's talk about how we got there and all that.
Yeah.
And then we have a bunch of different series, like striking series and all that. Not going to give out all the codes. But.
No, don't get the code words away. Don't get that. But that's good. There's a couple things I want to unpack there. Number one, that the difference in names, right, and what we use when we're teaching. When I was teaching kids classes, in kids classes, you have to really come up with some kind of system. So mount escape, telephone call, ask a question, hug the arm, right? And you just figure it, however you could explain it. But once you come up with that, like, it's stuck.
Yes.
It's locked in. And then there's two things I'm hearing from you there. Number one, it's funny because I was talking with one of my clients in California about this today. Number one, it's the experience of the students on the mat, but then also you're getting at the experience of coaching them in competition. On the mat, what do you want to learn today? Right. What do you want to learn today? Drawing some kind of connection to the students because they are ultimately the ones that are paying. So one of my clients today was talking about specifically how what he would be worrying about during the classes. He just opened up, and he's basically saying, I teach the class, I have these instructors, I'm not worried too much about this or that. The students come and they leave. But I said, what about the kids and how they get stripes? What about what they do when they're not in class? How they show that they've been practicing the principles of being a martial artist in their lives? What about getting to know your adult students better, making jokes with them, building rapport with them? Ultimately, we're in the business of teaching martial arts, but the reason why students stay is not because they're learning martial arts, but because they want to stay. There's a sense of community. They like you. It's as simple as that. It's not complicated, right? And it's just interesting because I notice a lot of schools that I talk with, a lot of owners at schools that I talk with, are so worried about being the best. Their curriculum, right? What they teach, right? What they're going to teach before they walk into the class, instead of reading the room and adjusting to the class a little bit sometimes too, being flexible. Right, so the whole time I've known you, and in your instruction before you had the school, at Zephyr, at Hammer, I've always seen everybody in your classes smiling, everybody, enjoying themselves, being a really close unit. The same thing I noticed at Steve's when I was at Inferno too, which it makes sense because he transmitted that to you, which you now transmit to your students.
And depending on what's going on. So I want anyone that walks into my gym, all my membership all classes are included, unlimited. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't want to do kickboxing. You have the option to.
Yeah.
Now, for that, I have it that way, so anyone could be in any class together. Now, read the room.
Right.
Day one guy in kickboxing, you don't give the guy in fight week. Different mentalities are why they're here today.
Sure.
I always have a system called lifeguards. Okay.
Lifeguards?
So we'll have intro people, and I have some people that have been training with me for about 10 years. They're my lifeguards. They understand what we want to do, get across, and they understand how to go.
Sure.
So you're coming in, you're my lifeguard today.
Right.
You're my lifeguard to kind of work with them. But that you want a game plan, right? So when people think about what I'm going to teach in the class, as long as everyone can do it, I'm okay. But I don't want to show up, but that's why you have advanced and beginner classes.
Sure.
But we want them included. All that. With being the best, unfortunately, this industry, the egos they're there. Yeah. And you can't, I get in my way of my own ego sometimes. Even if I say I don't have an ego and I do my best to not, I'm not an expert in anything. I'm figuring this out. I took a gamble.
None of us are.
I'm learning it. Exactly.
There's always somebody better.
Now, my community inside the gym, I always take it as I always call it the blue belt curse, right? Now, when that guy gets their blue belt and they want to leave because they think they know everything.
Sure, happens often.
Now, people get blue belts for different reasons. People get it for time commitment. They've been there long enough.
Right.
Now, people get blue belts because they're competing and they're just manhandling the white belts. They have to go to blue belt, but there's a bit. That's how I was. There were still gaps. I still needed to learn all the little stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't take it as I needed to change my environment to get better. And that's my goal. I'm going to be able to give you everything you need for your goals that you have.
Yeah.
Now, you get to a point where I'm not getting pushed in the room. You should always get a push.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's why they're cross-training.
Yeah.
You don't have to I'm now and then you're saying this and that, and you're going that way because you think it's better, because you think you know better, and you take that one time no one can beat me up in the room.
Yeah.
I need to go over there. That makes the toxic thing.
Yeah.
Everyone in there that I know, it's so stressful about to have a baby, right? When you own a martial arts gym. My wife, she has a very good job. She has a very good career. She gets maternity leave. She's home with our family for 6 months, and we're going to get money. I can't be home for 6 months.
No.
I can't.
Yeah.
I give the couple weeks, get into a balance.
Yeah.
Probably end up bringing my son, but I know everyone on the mat is okay. I have my lifeguards. I have my higher belts.
Yeah.
Everyone understands what's going on inside.
Yeah.
That I didn't abandon you.
Right.
I'm going to be back.
Yeah.
But if you coverage or whatever here, and everyone's go, and everyone understands the system.
Great.
I tell the guy, go through this today.
Yeah.
Go through this today, whatever. And I'm checking in on them, all that kind of stuff. But again, you feel welcomed when you walk in. Yeah, and I that's always why. But again, but vice versa, if I'm running a wrestling practice, those are the hardest days. That's structured where you know you're starting with a 15, 20-minute run. You know you're starting with your drills. You're only here higher pace, but it's a different class, and that's why you're there.
Right.
My MMA class is tough.
Yeah.
I don't really let intros go into that unless they're very adamant about it.
Yeah.
That's the only time that's going to work.
Right. Prior
And if
experience, maybe.
there's got to be something.
Yeah.
But if you're like say it's 8 o'clock and that's the class that's going to work best for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you in there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to work with you, not in the group. You can see what the group's going, but
Right.
because they're going. It's not.
No, you can't
It's,
throw them into that. Yeah.
It's tough. It's little gloves,
Yeah.
and you have to make sure you're okay because
Yeah.
I want to make sure everyone's okay first,
Sure. Yeah.
and not start to hate the sport
Yeah.
because then they're not coming.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. No, 100%. So before we go, if you if somebody wanted to get HCS tickets, how do they go about it? If somebody wants to subscribe to YouTube, how do they do that? If a school wants to sign up for the meet, they go to the website. You're saying?
Yep. So hcsgrappling.com. Hit us up on Instagram, hcs_grappling. We've been doing our tickets through Nitro, but we always post it. Find your local competitor who's competing. We're always giving commission to them as well, so help them out. If you're looking to compete, again, either on the website, DM me, and we'll get you on. But we're always there. June 20th, we're back. Then August 29th, we'll be at Rolling Bear in Kenilworth.
June 20th and then August 29th, Rolling Bear in Kenilworth.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for coming in, Josh.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
I'll see everybody on the next episode of Ground Standard After Hours.